of this session, I am going to have a small talk on related to mobile phone forensics to have a basic awareness on mobile phone forensics. Okay, so what is a mobile phone forensics? In this session, I'll try my best to understand the importance of having the mobile phone forensics, some procedures, how to take the data, and of course, it is also having some challenges. So why we have selected this topic means right now we are in the world of digitization, and we all are surrounded by lots of smart devices, especially mobile phones. Actually, mobile phones are right now called to be not just mobile phones, but they're called to be smartphones. Okay, it's a smart device. And these types of smart devices are distributed everywhere around us. Okay, capturing every instances of our life, which means lots and lots of our personal data are floating around these types of devices. So if any issue, any security issue or any threat is happening to these devices or the network which are hosting these devices, or any unexpected incident is happening to such types of devices, it will cause some problems to the user. Means the cyber criminals can entice these devices in a wide scenario. So need of cyber forensics, especially device forensics, is hitting continuously on the forensics flow. Comparing with other forensic criteria, mobile phone forensics introduces new challenges. Why? Because of the continuous change in the technology and the way by which the communications are being secured. Hence, dependency on wide variety of tools and wide variety of methodologies are to be implemented or to be adapted while doing the forensic investigation. Okay, so forensic investigation means something to be digging from the mobile phone that may be relevant to the case scenario, that may be acting as a vital evidence. So coming to the investigation part, before going to that, I'll just mentioning you what are the things, like why we are studying or why we are focusing on a topic, or what is the importance of focusing on a particular topic. Okay, so here, when dealing with a mobile phone, the first and the prime thing one should know or the analyst should know is where the evidence is located. Next, what is the data and how that data get into the phone. And third question, is there any possibility to detect or to recover the data which has been deleted from the system? Next, nowadays, malwares are ruling the entire data, entire devices. So is there any probability to analyze the malwares or the malicious things that may have infected into the mobile phone? Also, the next major challenging area is how to handle the logged or encrypted devices and applications. Okay, so this is the scenario what we are going to see in this session. In all these things, as I told, why we are focusing on the mobile phone forensic means it's now actually a social device. We can't imagine a day in our daily life without having mobile phone, or if without having any type of devices, or without having internet. So it has become a key social object to our day-to-day activities. And fine, first we can have an view on how this mobile phone has been deeply rooted into our day-to-day scenarios. As you know, for our day-to-day transactions, for searching something, okay, or to buy something, any day-to-day activities. When mobile phones were, or when phones were introduced, its major purpose was to make calls. But nowadays, beyond making calls, there are so many other things which are having more priority. Actually, with the increase in the mobile devices, the number of internet connectivity which has been made through mobile has also been increased. And these connections accounts for more than half of the web traffic globally. network traffic globally. Okay, and if we see nowadays the people are more reliant on the mobile devices, and the reason is that the final impact is that it causes the rate of increasing in the vulnerability to cyber attacks also. In our home also, we may be knowing our parents, maybe our grandparents, they may also be using mobile phones, especially smartphones. They don't know how to use a computer, but they know how to use a mobile phone. With that, they may be using social media. With that, they may be using what mobile banking, maybe using what other e-commerce applications. So if we see right now in our country, starting from the financial year 2018 to right now in the 2022, if we take a population, if randomly taking 100 people, around 72 people were being used with the digital payment. Okay, now almost all the people, they may be using UPI payments or Google Pay or net banking, isn't it? What physical cash is not having that much in our wallet, but all of our mobile phones are loaded with digital cash. Next scenario is related to the anatomy of a mobile phone attack. Actually, it is having 3 points. First one is the device itself, vulnerability in the device itself. Second one is the vulnerability to the network which we are connecting, most probably to the public Wi-Fi network which the user is being connected to. And the third point is related to the data center or to the cloud network to which our device or to our network is being hosted. As you know, if we come to the point one, that is the vulnerable device, how the device get vulnerable. It is also having different chances or options. First one, most of the people right now use mobile phone for browsing activities. Browser activity means through the browser, different threats can happen like phishing attack or clickjacking attack or data caching or cookie hijacking. So many types of attacks it can happen. Then comes some messages like phishing messages or wishing messages coming to your mobile phone as an SMS. Then third prominent one is related to the vulnerability in the apps which has been downloaded or saved inside the system. As we all know, when we download something, an app from the Play Store, it will be surely asking some permissions. So permissions means we are granting that permission so that all such relevant data, maybe the contact, maybe the call log, or maybe what gallery information. Okay, so many dynamic information or the personal information, more personal informations we are giving to the apps. So if any vulnerability is there inside the app, we are exposed. That is the first anatomy. The second one is related to the public network which we are connecting. Okay, the Wi-Fi which is not having any proper encryption, which is not having any strong password, or maybe because of any packet sniffing methodology, or because of the man in the middle attack. So many options are available. Or right now, this is a scenario right now. Tomorrow, new technologies may be coming, new threatening challenges may be coming. At that time, again, these options will be changing. And finally, is related to the cloud service provider, maybe as in the web server scenario or in the database scenario, also threats can happen. So these are the multiple points through which attacker or the malicious softwares could be able to installed into our mobile phone with or without the intention of the user. Okay, so in all these things, some sort of investigation is need to be recovered. Actually, forensic means it's an investigation on the data, on the investigation on the deleted data, and checking for the probability for recovering the chances of recovering the deleted data or formatted data or encrypted data. All these constitutes the common word is called forensics or cyber forensics. And in the mobile forensics, coming to our topic, that is mobile forensics, it is actually the science of recovering the digital evidence from a mobile phone under forensically sound conditions. It means the examination of the mobile phone and producing the report of all the possible sources of digital evidence in a forensically sound manner. So the investigator who is doing the investigation on the mobile phone should produce a report and present the evidence in the court of law to prove the incident. So this mobile phone forensics, it includes the extraction, recovery, and analysis of data from internal memory of the phone, means the phone internal memory, then SD cards, if any additional cards is there, then SIM card is there, and finally from the data service provider. So this mobile phone forensics, okay, actually it means to trace out or to examine the incoming messages, the pictures stored inside the memory, the call logs, then emails, SIM data, deleted data, all these together constitutes the mobile phone forensics, so that we can come to a conclusion, like the attempt we are making to trace the perpetrators of the crimes that involve in the use of a mobile phone. Let's see, what is the relevance of a mobile phone in a crime? If you take any crime, not it should be mandatory that it should be a cyber crime. If you take any what traditional crime also, like if it is a home robbery or something like that, at that time also the initial investigation starts from the nearby tower locations, which were the mobile numbers activated in that tower location at that particular time. Means the mobile phone has become an integral part of the human life, and the presence of these devices are increasingly common in the investigation of any type of crime by law enforcement agencies. Say suppose if any man missing case is reported in the police station, the first instance they will think that whether that person is having the mobile phone, what is his mobile number, and then they will start to trace that mobile number. It means the mobile devices has developed from a mere communication devices in the past to full-fledged computing and storage devices. And of course, they have a considerable amount of data, personal data, and nowadays it is capable of holding wide range of data, like any type of data you can hold inside the mobile phone. And they are able to store more, as I repeated, more personal data. And with these more personal data, there comes the relevance of the mobile phones in the crimes. Okay, so they have more personal data and more mobile phone users than the computer users. The person who is not knowing what is a Windows operating system, but he may have heard about what is an Android operating system, okay, and what is an iPhone, something like that. And now the storage capacity of the mobile phone has 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB of internal storage memory capacity is there inside the mobile phone. Means that much amount of large chunks of data can be stored inside the mobile phones. Then told that there are different anatomy for the cyber threats, and most possibly the top rated threats which are targeting the mobile devices are web and network based attacks. Why this has came to be in a predominant scenario means most of the people use smartphones for internet related activities. They have mobile data. Okay, so this mobile data through what unethical use of these mobile data or the internet can have chances of different malicious things to be installed inside the system through the network or through the websites. Then malware is there, social engineering attacks, like people will be having Facebook accounts, WhatsApp accounts, Insta accounts, isn't it? All of them know to use these accounts, but only very few people know how to safe securely use these accounts. Safe securely using means how to log their profile, how to log their last seen, how to maintain their contacts, who all can contact them back. Isn't it? Almost all the cases, if you see in the settings of a social account, these all will be made in a public mode or maybe accessible to everyone. So all these things, it is a person's what personal hygiene, cyber hygiene, procedure to check the security settings of the social engineering applications that has been used. Then next one is related to the misuse of the network or the device or even the identity of a person itself. You may have seen in the movies like that, one person taking the mobile of another one and chatting on behalf of him, okay, pretending that he is the actual person. So it is a resource abuse. Next is related to the financial laws as well as the data laws. Okay, personal informations may be lost from the system, and of course for the chances for corrupting and modification of the data, existing data, people are always complaining that my contact has been shuffled. Okay, but I was able to recover that contact. Why? Because I was synced with the cloud information. So how this contact or these informations gets shuffled? Maybe because of some remote malicious things working inside the system. So all these things we require a forensic investigation. And recently, very recently, we had this major impact. Almost all of you have heard about this Pegasus. Okay, this was a serious threat reported all over the world. So this Pegasus, what it was, still now it is a mysterious thing that how, when it was actually originated, how it initiated its propagation, but still now there is no clue that it has been completely removed from the mobiles. How it happens, or how, what is the method of its impact? It may be basically taking the personal informations. It may be monitoring, continuously monitoring the calls which we are making, recording the voices and taking the screenshots, okay, and capturing the gallery information and maybe transmitting to other third party agents. And it's still one sort of unknown vulnerability. It is a Pegasus. Adversely affected malware inside the mobile phones, both Android as well as the iPhones. Now, coming to the forensic scenario, just have a comparison of an operating system, of a computer, of a mobile phone operating system, and related to the forensic investigation. Okay, so the mobile phone operating system, if it is an Android phone, it will manage the communication as the normal computer operating system is doing. It will be acting as an interface between the user as well as the device. There has been a diversity in the mobile operating system. Okay, if you take a computer, we have at least Windows or Linux or Mac, that's it. But if you come to the scenario of the mobile phones, smartphone itself, it is although it is most of the things comes under the category of the Android. You people knowing Android is an open source, it could be customizable according to the make and model, according to the manufacturer specifications. So lots and lots of diversities are there, and which will of course challenge the impact of the forensic analysis procedure. And the investigator should also know the underlying technology of the operating system, like what is its architecture, how the files are stored, where is the location, what type of file it is storing. So the basic knowledge is required related to the mobile phone operating system so that investigator can get from the lower level access of the mobile phone. Why we are taking this much of pain, even these much challenges are there, but we are taking pain to get into the mobile phone. Why? Because you can see lots of artifacts. If a person's mobile, sorry, mail, Gmail or any other mail that has been synced into the mobile phone, so many documents related, maybe personal or professional browsing related activity. So there is a saying in the cyber world that we cannot judge a person directly speaking to them, but we can easily judge or we can easily analyze a person's nature or his behavior or his taste of interest by just checking that person's browsing history. Are people agreeing with me? The browsing history tells whom you are, what you are, and basic aspects of your entire behavior. Everything you can, it is easily taken from a person's browsing activity. So if a browser history has been downloaded or decoded, it is very yeah, it is very efficient. It will be very easy for the investigator to come or to coordinate that person's activity relating to the crime that has been reported. Now, coming to the challenging phase, lots of challenges are there. Very few only I have been listed over here. Okay. The one important thing is related to the hardware differences, like the make and model. Even if it all comes under the category of the Android, the make and model of the device will be different. Their encryption methodology will be different. Their chipset will be different. What the security aspects like pattern storing, biometric storing, or pin locking, these all will be different. So if we have a tool to take the unlock a password or to unlock a pattern of a one mobile phone, it is not mandatory or it is not always true that it should always what satisfies another phone also or another model also. It is device specific. Almost all the things are device specific. And there has been a lot of anti-forensic techniques that has been practiced so far to go for the encryption, to go for the deletion of the data. Remote agents are there to deletion of the data. Even IMEI, IMSI number, these also can be some recent research papers. It is telling that it is possible to change that numbers also. Then another basic thing is related to the legal issues. Okay, I'm not the right spokesperson to tell about the legal issues, but of course, you people keep in mind that there has been a lots of legal issues related to the privacy of the data. So many legal issues related to the investigation part of the mobile phone. Okay, now I'll take your attention to the possible methodologies for the extraction of the evidences from the mobile phone. The first thing is called as we have to identify the mobile phone. Okay, identification is the first part. And once we have identified in the mobile phone, the analysis of the data will happen in three areas. One is the mobile phone memory itself. Then second one is the SIM card. Third one is the network service provider data, which will give us the call history of a person's number. And in all these things, we can take that data, called the procedure called forensic acquisition, forensic imaging and forensic acquisition. The data we will be getting as in a mirrored copy, and that mirrored copy image we can transfer it into a forensic workstation, which is preloaded with the investigation tools or the forensic analysis tools. And the third step is to go for the report generation or the presentation of the evidence related to the case to the third party, maybe probably to the higher officials or for the court of law. So this is the basic principle of the steps involved in the analysis of a mobile phone. So in the mobile phone, the data, if you take a computer, the storage location could be either a permanent storage location called a hard disk, or maybe a temporary. If the system is in the running mode, could be able to take from the memory also, RAM component also. But comparing to that operating system, disk forensics, next coming to the area of device forensics. If you take a device, a mobile device, it have three evidentiary areas. One is the mobile phone memory, second one is the SIM card, and third one is related to the network provider data. Okay, So identification is the very important procedure, like the investigation officer who is doing the identification procedure should write down all the information, and if possibly take along with the documentation, all the things should be photographed also. So identify a phone by its model, make and model, service provider, operating system, then related if it is inserted with a SIM card, okay, or if it is what the label under the battery, it will be having the model type, IMEI number, etc. So the number, so all these artifacts has to be identified, should be documented, and if possible should be photographed also. That is the actual practice for that. So the IMEI number, as you all know, IMEI number means it is the International Mobile Equipment Identity, which is a unique number for identifying a device on a mobile network. Okay, so it is a 15-digit number. You can see here, it's a 15-digit number assigned to every GSM phones. And apart from that, the next number is called the IMSI number, which means it is International Mobile Subscriber Identity. It is also a 15-digit number associated with the service provider. So here we will have some codes like mobile country code, mobile network code, and station identification number. Okay, so many things are associated with this IMSI number. And finally, this is a SIM card identification number, that is ICC-ID. Okay, so this number, it is stored in the SIM cards, and to know, which is to uniquely identify a SIM card. And it is also having the issuer number, country code, and so many other encoded information. Now, coming to the exact forensic procedure, if we take a mobile phone, first and the major thing is we have to isolate that mobile phone from the network, provided if it is having a SIM card or if the data is being on that mobile phone, to stop the reception or to isolate the device from the network. But maintain the power if possible. Is the cables and accessories related with that mobile phone. And the final step is to take the data, whatever the possible data, maximum possible data we can acquire from the mobile phone, but in a forensically sound condition. So what is that forensic sound condition? I will tell to you later. Okay, so the seizure rules: isolate from the network, take the details of the current location, report the device status, which is very, very important, like whether the device is in the on condition or in the off condition, or if it is having any broken screen or something like that. However, it is appearing to be, that should be clearly mentioned in the report. Okay, so why this on or off? There is a in the seizure principle of the mobile phone, there is a concept called on or off rule. Means if the device is in the on condition, do not turn it off. And if the device is in the off condition, let it be in the off condition itself. It should be turned on under in a isolated environment only. Okay, so if that whatever the state it is, try to maintain on that state the maximum possible condition. Next is, as I told, the mobile phone, when it is being identified and when after it has been taken into custody, we should have the liability to preserve the evidence, to isolate this device from the network and to preserve the evidence. Why? Because after seizing, if any call is coming to the mobile, or if any message is coming to the mobile, what happens is the hash of the evidence will be altered, changed. Okay, so there are so many other legal issues also related to that. So there has been a lot of options for maintaining these devices in an isolated manner. So here you can see most commonly used are aluminum foils are there. Then next one is something called a Faraday bag. And there is another one which is called as an arson cans, which means that It is mainly used in the mobile investigation process to prevent someone connected to the crime from hitting the phone with a text or an email bomb that floods the phone memory with messages that crowd out all the previous calls from the log. Then it has one more option that is called as a signal disruption bag or a wireless stronghold bag. It is something called related to a mobile jamming or a signal interruption. Means it prevents any type of signal from reaching outside into the mobile device. Okay, so there are different options to preserve the evidence, to isolate the evidence from the network. Okay, then finally, coming to the analysis procedure, we are focusing on the five evidence locations, probable evidence location. First one is the mobile phone internal memory. Second one is the SIM card. Third one is the external memory. Any SD cards and all are inserted into the mobile, that has to be analyzed. Then related with the cloud service provider, and finally the data with the network operator, which we often called as the call data record. So another interesting thing, we know these are the evidentiary area. So when connecting, think all of you have connected your mobile phone to the system, and you can see lots of folders and subfolders inside your system, inside your mobile phone, which are not common, not possible to see even through the file manager of your mobile phone also, may not be possible to see, but you can see so many files. These are the most common evidence locations in the Android phone. If you check it, there is a location like this, cache/partition. Inside that, so many DB files you can see. DB means it's called as an SQLite DB files. Inside the Android phones, it is stored as a specific database format that is called SQLite DB. So the WhatsApp related information is stored in a particular DB. Then SMS, MMS information, contacts is there, browsing data is there, call logs is there, Facebook is there. If using any other net banking application, their corresponding DB files will be created. Insta accounts, that will be created. Okay, so each of the things will be created into a specific databases commonly related to an SQLite DB. So these locations, if we know, means what the tools will be doing, they will be going to that location and capturing that data, just reading that data. Okay, then next, this reading technique methodology is called as acquisition. The exact technical term is acquisition. Okay, acquisition means extracting the information or recovery of the digital evidence from the phone under forensically sound condition. That forensic sound condition I have told, it will be isolated from the network by keeping it in a Faraday bag or something, resources like that. Again, there is one more clarification is required related to the acquisition methodology. Mobile phone supports two types of acquisition. One is called logical and second one is called physical acquisition. Logical acquisition means it is a little bit easy because with the help of operating system APIs, all the stored information, the logical copy of all the stored information may be stored, may be easily taken, like the file system information, folder information, application related information may be taken. But compared to the logical acquisition, physical acquisition will gives you more result because it gives the probability of examining deleted files. It has the option to dig into the area and to recover the deleted information from the mobile phone. But it is a tedious task. It will take much more time also because it will be taking the bit by bit copy of the entire store, and of course it will have some disadvantages like it may have to suffer from the data fragility. The second important challenge is that the device has to be detected, or the detection of the device is a difficult task for the physical acquisition. And somehow the deleted files may not be recovered completely, provided if it has gone under the case of an overwritten concept. So there are lots of difficulties, but still with that difficulty, the physical acquisition is going to give us more results, more clarified results compared to the logical acquisition. Then the next case is to get the physical, or to come to the root point of the operating system of the mobile phone. We should have the routing capacity, or to get the complete privileged control, means all the security aspects that has been given by the operating system as well as by the manufacturer has to be overruled for getting into the root access. So this routing also can be done either as in a temporary routing manner or in a permanent routing manner. Of course, it is also having a pros and cons. Like advantage session means you can get the picture of the complete internal data. As I told, internal data complete, if you are able to capture, means the all the overwritten files, deleted files, everything we can get it. But the disadvantage is, of course, the security issues, and somehow the warranty that has been given by the manufacturer will also be lost. Okay, there has been a lot of tools available in the net for the routing procedure. Like, don't use, you people. Okay, for the investigation procedures and all. These tools are helping a lot, both for the temporary routing as well as for the permanent routing. Okay, then the acquisition. So we have taken the image. Oh, sorry, we have seized the device. We have come into the logical acquisition or with the physical acquisition. And this acquisition, both these types of acquisition can be supported by the commercial tools are there. Okay, then open source for softwares are there. The ADB commands are there. Okay, then taking the backup of that, then flashing of the cards, then SD card analysis, different methodologies are there. So right now, today, I am going to have an introduction to our commercial tool, which is developed by SIDAC Trivandrum, the cybersecurity group of SIDAC Trivandrum, which is called as a mobile check tool. I'll just have a brief intro on that tool also. Okay. And just before that, I'll just remind you, like as a personal tip also, you people can take account of this one. Like if we assume that something maliciously happening in our system, something suspicious inside our mobile phone, it's a good practice while downloading the apps from the Play Stores and all, check for their patches, updates, check for the installed apps, say for basically for any suspicious APK files are being installed inside the system. Have a refreshing on the browser history, and never ever click on the links basically coming from the SMS messages, MMS, emails, or even from the social media accounts. Okay, so these are the basic entry point. Once we open an entry point and then we invoke that entry point, then only these types of malicious things are coming into our devices. Maybe for the mobile phone, not only for the mobile phone, but also for your desktop machines also, it should be a regular practice. Okay, now I'll take your attention to the solutions from the CDAC for the mobile phone forensic investigation. Like this is the first one, the mobile check. Now the version has been updated a little bit more. So this mobile check version, it is primarily focusing on the internal memory of the mobile phones. Okay, that is one of the prime evidentiary location on which the data are being stored, which will very well satisfied by this mobile check tool. Then followed by that, the next evidentiary information in the mobile is relating to the SIM card. So we have a SIM card reader. Actually, this is coming in the form of a pen drive. It's a hardware device. Okay, with the inside this one, the extraction tool will extract the data, and we have a SIM card analysis module which will analyze that data. And we have an call data record analyzer, which is from the service provider we are getting. And for that, we have a tool called Advic CDR analyzer. Okay, so I'll just show a small demo on the mobile check tool. So this is the interface of a mobile check, which in which one I have already added some images, but any tool we take, okay, any tool we take, any forensic tool, okay, tool means forensic tool you take, it will have two basic phases. One phase is called the imaging phase, imaging plus acquisition phase. And second one is called as the analysis phase. Repeat. The first phase is called imaging plus acquisition, means bitstream imaging plus taking the copy from the suspicious device to the analysis machine, and then in the analysis machine we will do the analysis with the analysis module of the software. As the same like that, mobile check is also having an imager part. Okay, so if we suspect a device or we have identified a mobile phone which has been the cause for committing a particular crime, the device has to be connected to the analysis machine, which is preloaded with this tool called mobile check. Okay, so go to the next option. Different acquisition types are being listed here. Like we can do the physical routing. You can take the bootloader information, you can take the backup of the Android devices, then logical acquisition, memory card analysis, transfer of the other MTP related data is possible. Okay, GPS acquisition is there. So if I just click on this logical solution, provided the device has to be connected. Two methods of connectivity it is supporting, either by USB or Bluetooth connectivity. So all these things are being supported inside the mobile check. Logical acquisition, almost all the tools is supporting, but physical acquisition it is supporting, but it depends upon the make and model of the device which you are connected, and sometimes the chipset also. So there are some restrictions are being there. But anyhow, different methodologies are there for taking the information. Okay, so this is the mobile check imager. So if I just go this proceed right now, I hadn't connected any mobile phone right now. If I connected it, it will show the options over here. From here, I can select the acquisition options like call log is required, or contact is required, or messages required, or emails required. Okay, based on that, whichever the options I will tick over here, all those things will be coming over here. And how I proceed, it will come up to my system with a file. Okay, that file is having can create either as in a specific format, as a prescribed format, or I can commit with some other methodology. Like if I take, you can see the extension. Okay, this is the extension, the default extension of mobile check imager, which is called .pmg. Okay, .pmg. So I have taken some images, both logical images, physical images. Okay, and one more image it is supporting, which is called a binary image. Binary image means it is a PMG image, means it is a proprietary image which could be loaded and analyzed with the help of mobile check only. If we want to analyze the same image with any other compatible forensic tools, means you can make it as a raw file, or it can be made it as a binary file. So again, mobile check is having an option here to take for bin file analyzer. Okay, if it is a binary file, it can be loaded and checked here. It is having the analysis module of a SIM card also. After taking the image of the SIM card with that pen drive, we can load that image file into the mobile check for the analysis. Okay, so if we had a analysis module, so I have already told you that the physical and the logical images which I have been already taken with the mobile check. we can load that image and we can check it. Okay, so I'm taking it as a new case, going to the image path, taking one of the logical image. The logical image means whatever the information is right now available inside that device, it will be opened. Okay, whatever the information is right now available. So while taking the imaging part, as per the what our law, cyber law, you should give some informations like something related to the FIR related data. All those things has to be given. Okay, and then after finishing it, the tool will decompile all those information available inside that PMG file, and it will be mentioned. See, analysis part is very much easy inside this module, because all the things with a very, very cute GUI, very what presentative GUI, layman itself can easily identify what are the artifacts available inside this mobile phone. Okay, what are the artifacts available inside the mobile phone? Say, you can see the device brand of this mobile phone. Okay, if any mail ID is being connected with that mobile phone, any synced with that mobile phone, that we can get it. Okay, then contact, call logs, SMS informations, isn't it? All those things, if it is having any relevant number of entries, that number of entries will also be given inside this window. So the analysis part is little bit easy here. And in the meantime, this is one module of logical image I have been stored. And this is another file which I have been taken, which is a bin file, which I have been already loaded into this system. So there also it will show all the things. Actually, these all are stored in a database format, in a DB file. So the SIM related information, then if any user accounts is being linked on this one, okay, then the passwords stored inside the system, then the user accounts, then SMS messages, emails that has been stored inside the system, then social network related activities, so many things we will be getting inside this window. The basic challenge inside this mobile phone forensic part is, once the tool should be detected inside the imaging part of this mobile check. Okay, and the analysis part is little bit easy. The same similar thing you can do with the SIM card images also. So I have already loaded some sample SIM images that also you can see over here. Okay, SIM related info. Inside the SIM also the informations can be seen. Even if it is a small chip, around 39 types of file information can be stored inside the SIM card. Okay, so if something is getting deleted from the mobile phone, it may be having, maybe the contact is stored inside the SIM card also. That contact information we can recover from the, or the call related information or the message related information can be recovered from the SIM card also. And in all these things, most of the times our location people may have the behavior of turning on their location, or if we haven't turned on the location by using some specific applications, they will ask to defaultly turn on your location. Okay, so keeping on the location on means all the location related, like the latitude and longitude related information, will be saved in all of your data, maybe as a picture data, or maybe as in your log, in your transaction logs. It will be added as a metadata, so that it will be very helpful for the investigation procedure also. And I will also just introduce you to the our website, which is maintained by our cyber forensics groups, that is called cyberforensics.in. This is our website. In this website, we have the option, you have the option to create your user accounts over here. Okay, so the user account and password, once it is granted, the activities related to the cyber forensics group, cyber security group, you can see over here. The tools which are developed by us. The trial version of the tools can be downloaded from the download link. Go to the download link, and from here you can download the 1 month trial version of the tools, and you can experience, you can explore more related to the cyber forensic activities. And I can proudly tell you that CDAC Trivandrum is a pioneer center for doing the forensic and security related activities. Okay, so I know I was fast forwarding a little bit, but I have to complete within the specified time scenario. So right now we can have the discussion on any suggestions or any queries related to our discussion. It's warmly welcome.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for your wonderful and enlightening session. I think it's awesome session, and we had gained a lot of knowledge. And there are few questions. Let me read out for you. And what kind of vulnerability is there while using the public internet, like railway or airport stations? And second question is, whom may sole responsible to handle the internet security? I think these are the two questions.
The first thing is related to the public Wi-Fi cracking. You can see lots of news related to public Wi-Fi cracking. The basic thing is, most of the time the public Wi-Fi hotspots may not be password protected, and even if it is password protected, also maybe weak password, or maybe shared with us more number of peoples. So that there are different methodologies. Like if you I'll tell you a simple scenario. Like when we connect to a public hotspot. See, the thing is, we have our mobile data, have our personal mobile data, but still again, people is having the behavior to log on to some other public network, which so that we think that at least we can save our data. Okay, we may be having geo network, be having unlimited data, but still also people log on to the public network. So what is a public network issue means? Sometimes you may have experienced that your network is being continuously disconnected. We think that maybe because of any network issue, maybe because of any signal problem, but it could be a purposefully created interruption. So whenever we get disconnected and whenever we automatically get connected, there is a concept called WPA, that is wireless processing attack. Wi-Fi cracking methodologies are there. Like when we disconnect and again connect it again means our system related informations like our IMEI number and if any other possible information that has been vulnerable with any other apps which may have preloaded in our system, it could have the chance for hacking that information, or they may have the possibility to remotely inject some malicious things into our mobile phone through the network which we have been connected. We maybe think that it is a superstitious, not going to be happening again, but if you go to a website, I'll suggest you a website called thehackernews.com. It will give you lots of stories related to the Wi-Fi cracking scenarios.
Thank you so much. And next question is, any tool for breaking the patterns in the mobile? Any tool for breaking the patterns in mobile?
Actually, Mobile Check is supporting the pattern breaking of some models of Samsung, and there are pattern breaking open source tools are there. But for that, all those tools, what they internally do is there is a key value inside the mobile phone which is called gesture.key. And in the breaking of or the bypassing of this file, this particular file is made by the open source tools so that it will be breaked. But security aspect will be breaked, and from that onwards it will be doing the investigation. Actually, the police peoples are doing investigation based on that scenario, but it is having some legal issue. That is what I told, the legal issue scenario. The investigation officer should have the proper documentation or the proper points related why he had made these things into the system, into the device. Because as per the IT Act, there is a clue that the evidence the suspect evidence or the things which has been having the cause of evidence should be preserved as long as possible till the case come to a final verdict. So the preservation of the evidence will become a question mark if we do these types of internal breakage into the system. But it is possible.
And ma'am, the next question is, any open source tool for mobile vulnerability check?
Yeah, you can check it. There is an osintframework.com. Inside that website, you can list out so many open source tools.
How to know that my mobile is under tracking by any means, by any hacker?
Interesting question, but I don't have a single answer for that. Okay, sir, these all are related to our security scenarios. Basically, some important things I can tell you, like your system will be showing some unnatural behavior, like some blinking light will be coming. Normally, when a notification comes, we may have enabled the blinking light, but without any notification, also sometimes the light will be blinking, the screen will be turning on or off, some blur, the screen will be getting blurred when you opening some applications and all. Your data will be draining fast. The device will show what heat normal than the normal charging scenario. These are some of the physical conditions. But coming to the internal things, you can search for some types of suspicious files, maybe with extensions like .ico, .bat, .apk. So many things are there. Sir, these are all these things. We have our future skills prime course now. Inside that cybersecurity aspect, we will be covering all these things in a very good manner. CDAC Trivandrum is doing such lots of wonderful courses also, along with the entire CDAC is coordinating in the future skills prime, so that you people can get lot of into that while enrolling into our that courses also.
The next question is, how to identify about a malware spam existed in a phone? Malware
It's quite
spam
different,
existed
sir.
in a phone.
By with the detailed internal examination of the mobile phone, it is possible to identify. That means because of checking for some unspecified extension files, the applications which has not been installed by the system, some linked methodologies are there. So many things. So many things are there.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is, any tool is available for breaking the WPA2 or WPA3 protocol?
Yes. Commands are there, not any specific tools. Some Python scripts are available in the GitHub repository, but I haven't experienced that. Sorry to tell you. In the GitHub repository, Python bundles are there for breaking these types of things.
Okay, ma'am. I think the question is there, and device acquisition. Not so relevant, sir. Maybe we can try to answer later part. How can we download the recorded? Okay. Okay, ma'am. How soon should we need to change our cell phone, or is it a good idea to change the mobile phone frequently for security purposes?
I don't think so, but don't exchange your old mobile phone for your new one.
That is true. Any data recovery tool from CDAC or any trusted tools to use?
Data recovery from mobile phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Mobile check is the solution from CDAC part, but this is for the mobile, but for the disk forensics, network forensics, all those things we have solutions.
Okay. All right, ma'am. All right. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful session, as well as addressing all the queries by the respective participants from various ministries as well as things. Okay, I think the last question we will take it, ma'am. Any tool for Android malware analysis developed by CDAC or any other suggestions?
From the CDAC part, not at any, but anyhow, we will be coming into the scenario. But there are so many other tools, so many other options are available that we can address in our future sessions, sir. Malware analysis tools.
Sure, mom. Sure, mom. Yeah, I think we will plan that session shortly, so that we also, participants also will get to know about all those aspects. So in the meantime, so thank you so much, mom, for your wonderful session, and clarifying all the queries and things, right? So, sir, mom,
Thank you
like
all.
I have,
Thank you all participants also. Okay, for having a nice
thank you so
time
much,
with
mom.
me.
Thank you, mom. And sir, ma'am, like I just kept the feedback feedback link in the chat area. So I request all of you please go through that feedback link and give your feedback. That is one thing. And second thing, you also let us know like what was your future requirements to organize any sessions kind of thing. So I'm just posting one more time. So I just posted a link in the chat area. So please use that link to address your queries, give your feedback, as well as to future requirements of any of the sessions kind of thing, right? And before we conclude the session, let me